The rain fell hard on the metal roof of the small human outpost on Zeta Prime. Inside, Lisa wiped grease from her hands and squinted at the broken scanner on the table. Wires spilled out like guts. The screen flickered once, then died. She sighed. This was her third repair this week. The outpost was old, forgotten, and falling apart. But Lisa did not mind. She liked being alone. Earth felt too loud, too crowded. Out here, among the stars and silence, she could breathe. Outside, the wind howled through the purple trees. Lightning flashed, lighting up the jungle in sharp blue bursts. Lisa had been on Zeta Prime for 6 months. The last supply ship had come and gone, taking the other crew with it. They called her crazy for staying, but Lisa just shrugged. She had nowhere else to go. She was tightening a bolt when the alarm beeped, soft at first, then louder. She frowned. The sensors often picked up strange energy from the planet. Heat blooms, magnetic shifts, things the old system could not understand. She ignored it and kept working, but the alarm did not stop. It grew urgent. Lisa stood and walked to the control panel. The screen showed movement near the perimeter fence. Not an animal. Too big, too slow. Her heart beat faster. She grabbed her sidearm, not that it would help much, and moved to the door. Through the rain and fog, she saw a shape, tall, slender, moving with quiet grace. Its skin shimmered like wet oil under the storm light. 2 glowing blue eyes stared right at her. Lisa froze. She had read about the Vera in old mission files, native to Zeta Prime, intelligent, reclusive. No human had ever made contact. Most thought they were just stories told to scare new recruits. But this was real. The figure stepped closer. It held something small in its arms, wrapped in soft leaf-like cloth. Lisa's finger hovered near the trigger. She forced herself to stay calm. The Vera stopped 10 feet away. Rain slid off its smooth skin. It tilted its head as if listening to a sound only it could hear. Then it spoke. The words were not in English, not in any human language. But Lisa understood them clearly in her mind. You are the one. Her breath caught. She lowered her gun slowly. Who are you? The Vera did not answer with words. Instead, it gently placed the bundle on the wet ground. The cloth fell away. A child stood there, smaller than a human toddler, with the same shimmering skin and wide blue eyes. It looked at Lisa and smiled. Before Lisa could react, the child ran to her and wrapped its arms around her leg. It made a soft purring sound like a contented cat. Lisa looked down in shock. The child looked up and said one word. Father. The word hit her like a punch. She stared at the Vera. The alien's eyes widened. A sharp hiss escaped its throat. It stepped forward, its long fingers curling into fists. Why does my daughter call you father? Lisa shook her head quickly. I have never seen her before. I do not know her. The Vera studied her face. Its gaze was intense, almost painful. Then it relaxed slightly. The Vera did not lie. Their minds were open to truth. If the child spoke it, it was real. You will come inside, the Vera said. Not a question. A command. Lisa hesitated. Letting an alien into the outpost was against every protocol. But the child still clung to her leg, looking up with trusting eyes. Something in Lisa's chest twisted. She nodded. All right, but slowly she opened the door wide. The Vera entered with careful steps, its head brushing the low ceiling. It looked around the small room, the metal walls, the humming generator, the scattered tools. Its nose wrinkled slightly. To the Vera, this place must have smelled of rust and loneliness. Lisa knelt and gently pried the child's hands loose. She gave her a dry blanket and poured warm broth into a small cup. The child drank it eagerly, then curled up on a pile of spare fabric near the heater. Within minutes, she was asleep. The Vera watched every move. When the child slept, it turned to Lisa. I am Kyla, Queen of the Vera. This is my daughter Nia. She was born under the twin moons. Our kind does not need fathers. We shape life from our own will. But from her first breath, she spoke your name. She said you would come. Lisa rubbed her temples. This made no sense. She was just a repair tech from Ohio. She fixed machines. She did not raise alien children. Maybe it is a mistake, Lisa said quietly. Kayla shook her head. There is no mistake. The mind of a Vera child is clear. She sees what is true. You are tied to her. I do not know how. But I will find out. Lisa wanted to argue, to say she had no part in this. But then she looked at Nia. The child's chest rose and fell softly. Her tiny fingers twitched in sleep. Lisa remembered being that small. That alone. She had no family left on Earth. No one who cared if she lived or died. Something shifted inside her. What do you want from me? Kayla's eyes softened. Come with us. To our home. Let the elders see you. Let the stones speak. If you are not her father, you will be free to go. If you are, then you belong with us. Lisa swallowed. Going into the jungle with the Vera was dangerous, foolish even, but staying here meant more silence, more broken machines, more empty days. All right, she said. I will go. Kayla nodded once. Outside, the rain had stopped. The clouds parted, revealing the twin moons, large and silver, casting double shadows on the ground. Kayla picked up Naya gently. The child stirred but did not wake. They walked into the jungle. The trees here glowed faintly, their leaves pulsing with soft light, vines curled and uncurled like living things. The air smelled sweet like honey and rain. Lisa followed, her boots sinking into moss that felt warm to the touch. After what felt like hours, they reached a cave, but it was not dark or cold. The walls shimmered with veins of light. The floor was smooth and soft like skin. Inside, other Vera waited, tall, silent, watching. Their eyes glowed in the dim light. Nia woke and reached for Lisa. Father, she whispered. The Vera murmured among themselves. Kayla led Lisa to the center of the cave where a pool of clear water sat still as glass. You will be tested, Kayla said. The water sees truth. Speak your heart. If you lie, the cave will reject you. Lisa's mouth went dry. She had spent her life hiding, from grief, from people, from herself. But now, with all those glowing eyes on her, she knew she could not hide anymore. She stepped to the edge of the pool, took a deep breath, and began to speak. I am Lisa. My parents died when I was 10. I lived in foster homes. I learned to fix things because broken things did not ask questions. I came to space to get away from memories. I never thought I would matter to anyone. As she spoke, the water rippled. Images rose from its surface. Lisa saw herself as a girl, alone in a room full of strangers. Then as a young woman, working on a space station, eating meals by herself. Then something new. A Vera woman standing under the twin moons holding a seed of light. The woman looked at Lisa and smiled. She placed the seed into the earth and whispered, He will come. Kayla gasped. That is my sister. She died before Nia was born. The water stilled. The image faded. Silence filled the cave. Then Kayla turned to Lisa, her voice full of wonder. You are not her father by blood, but your soul was chosen. You are her anchor, her guide, her father in the way that matters. Lisa looked at Nia, who ran to her and hugged her waist. In that moment, something broke open inside her. Not pain, but peace. She was no longer just Lisa, the repair tech. She was father to a Vera child, and for the first time in her life, she was not alone. Life in the Vera caves changed Lisa in ways she never expected. The walls pulsed with soft light, breathing like a living thing. The air hummed with quiet songs that came from the stones themselves. Every morning, Nia would wake before dawn and tug on Lisa's sleeve, whispering, Father, come see the sky. And Lisa would follow, barefoot on the warm floor, out to the ledge where the twin moons faded into pink and gold. The Vera did not speak much, but they watched. They learned. They shared. Lisa taught them how to mend broken tools using human parts, wires, circuits, solar cells. In return, they showed her how to listen to the wind for warnings, how to read the colors of the leaves to find clean water, how to calm a storm with song. It was not magic. It was knowledge, old and deep. Nights were the hardest at first. Lisa would lie awake, listening to the strange sounds of the jungle, wondering if she had made a mistake. But then Nia would crawl into her sleeping mat, curl against her side, and whisper, You are here. That is good. And Lisa would sleep. Weeks turned into months. Lisa's hands, once used only to twist screws and solder wires, now wove vines into baskets and shaped clay into bowls. She laughed more. She smiled without thinking. She belonged. One evening, as the group gathered around the glowing pool, Kayla spoke. The elders have seen your work. They say you are true. You may stay among us as long as you wish. Lisa nodded. Thank you. But Kayla's eyes held something deeper. There is more. The child grows fast. Soon she will choose her path. Hunter, singer, dreamer, or builder. But she looks to you. She waits for your voice. Lisa looked at Nia, who sat quietly nearby, braiding strands of glowing moss. I do not know your ways well enough to guide her. You do not need to know our ways, Kayla said. You need only to be her father. Love her. Show her courage. That is enough. Lisa thought about that. Back on Earth, people had told her she was too quiet, too strange, too alone to ever be a parent. But here, with no rules and no past, she was exactly what Nia needed. The next day, Lisa took Nia to the edge of the high cliffs. Below, the jungle stretched for miles, alive with color and sound. "What do you want to be when you grow?" Nia tilted her head. "I want to fly." Lisa smiled. "Vera cannot fly." "Not yet," Nia said, "but maybe with your help." That night, Lisa dug through her old pack. She found spare metal sheets, thin wires, and a small battery from a dead drone. She remembered an old toy she made as a child, a glider that floated on the wind. Maybe it could work here. For days, she and Nia worked together. They shaped wings from light metal and strong vines. They tested balance with stones. They laughed when the first model crashed into a bush. Nia clapped every time it flew even a few feet. The other Vera watched in silence. Some frowned. Flying was not their way. But Kayla said nothing. She saw the joy in her daughter's eyes. Finally, the day came. The sky was clear. The wind was steady. Lisa strapped the small glider to Nia's back. It was not big enough to carry her far, just enough to leap from a low branch and glide down. Nervous, Nia looked at Lisa. "What if I fall? Then I will catch you," Lisa said. Aya climbed the tree. Her hands shook. Lisa stood below, arms open. The whole tribe gathered to watch. "Go," Lisa whispered. Aya jumped. For a moment, she dropped like a stone. Then the wings caught the wind. She soared, just for seconds, but it was enough. She landed softly in the moss, eyes wide with wonder. "I flew, Father." "You did," Lisa said, pulling her into a hug. Cheers rose from the Vera. Even the elders nodded. Kayla walked over, her face unreadable. "You gave her more than wings," she said. "You gave her belief." Lisa did not know what to say. She only knew that for the first time she felt proud. Not for fixing something broken, but for helping something grow. Days later, a new sound broke the peace. A low hum in the sky. Lisa looked up and saw it. A human ship, small and fast, circling the planet. Her heart sank. They had come for her. The rescue mission. The one she had forgotten. The ship sent a message through the old outpost radio, still powered by solar cells Lisa had repaired months ago. "Lisa, this is Captain Davis. We are here to bring you home. Respond if you can hear us home." The word felt strange now. Earth was a memory. Cold apartments. Empty streets. Silence that hurt. She walked to the cave entrance. Nia followed, holding her hand tightly. "Are you leaving, Father?" Lisa knelt. "I do not want to, but you might have to. Humans do not stay with us." Lisa looked at the ship, then at Nia's face. She thought of all the times she had been left behind. By parents. By friends, by life. She would not do that to Nia. "No," she said. "I am not leaving." That night, she sent a message back. Simple and clear. "Thank you for coming, but I am staying. I have a family here." The ship hovered for hours. Then slowly it turned and flew away. The Vera did not cheer. They did not speak. But they gathered around Lisa and Nia, placing hands on their shoulders. It was their way of saying, "You are ours." Kayla stood before Lisa. "You gave up your world for us. I did not give it up," Lisa said. "I found a better one." From then on, Lisa was no longer just a guest. She was kin. The Vera began to call her Tarek, the one who stays. Children followed her, asking how to build things. Elders asked her thoughts on the stars, and Nia grew taller, stronger, always with Lisa by her side. One evening, as they sat by the pool, Nia asked, "Will you teach me to fix the Sky Eyes?" The Sky Eyes were old human satellites, broken long ago, still circling Zeta Prime. Lisa had mentioned them once. "Yes," Lisa said, "but first you must learn to listen to them. Everything broken wants to be heard." Aya nodded seriously. "Like me," Lisa's throat tightened. "Yes, like you." She looked up at the stars. They were brighter here, closer. And for the first time, she did not feel small beneath them. She felt part of them. In the months that followed, Lisa and Nia worked on a new project, linking Vera light songs with human signals to speak to the satellites. It was slow work, but every day they learned. Every day they built something new. And every night Nia would whisper, "Father, tell me about Earth," and Lisa would tell her. Not of loneliness, but of oceans and mountains, of fireflies and snow. She made Earth beautiful, not because it was, but because Nia deserved to know that humans could create beauty too. Kayla watched them, her heart full. She had feared the human would leave, but Lisa had done more than stay. She had healed something in them all, the belief that love could cross stars, species, and silence. And so, under the twin moons of Zeta Prime, a human woman and an alien child built a future no one had imagined, not with war or power, but with patience, trust, and a single word spoken in the rain. Father. Time moved like the slow pulse of the cave walls. Seasons changed. The purple leaves fell and grew again. Nia was no longer a small child. She stood nearly as tall as Lisa now, her limbs long and strong, her eyes sharp with curiosity. She could climb the highest trees, speak to the wind singers, and fix a broken solar panel with ease. She was Vera and human in spirit, shaped by two worlds. Lisa watched her with quiet pride. They spent their days working side by side, repairing old human tech, weaving Vera light fibers into communication strands, teaching the young ones how to read both star maps and machine codes. The tribe had grown to trust Lisa completely. She was no longer the human, she was Tarek. She was father, but peace never lasts forever. One morning, the sky turned red, not the soft red of dawn, but a harsh, angry glow. The twin moons dimmed, the jungle grew still, even the vines stopped moving. Nia ran to Lisa, her face pale. Something is wrong. Lisa felt it too. A deep vibration in the ground, like a giant heart beating far below. She grabbed her old scanner from the cave wall. The screen flickered with warnings. Energy spikes. Seismic shifts. Something deep in the planet was waking up. Kayla appeared at the entrance, her eyes wide. The elders say the core stirs. It has not moved in 10 generations. What does that mean? Lisa asked. It means the planet is in pain, and if it wakes fully, the caves will fall. The trees will burn. We must leave. Leave. Lisa looked around at the glowing walls, the soft moss beds, the pool that held their memories. This was home, but Nia tugged her sleeve. Father, we can save it. Honai pointed to the old human satellite still orbiting above, silent, broken, but not dead. You said they listen. What if we talk to them not just to hear, but to help? Lisa's mind raced. The satellites had deep sensors, thermal, magnetic, gravitational. If they could be reactivated, they might map the planet's core and find a way to calm it. But it would take power, coordination, time they might not have. We try, Lisa said. The tribe worked fast. Vera singers climbed the high peaks to send light pulses into the sky. Lisa and Nia rebuilt the old antenna at the outpost, using vines for insulation and crystals for signal boost. They worked through the night, hands raw, eyes tired. On the third day, the ground shook. Rocks fell from the cave ceiling. Fear spread through the tribe. We are running out of time, Kyla said. Lisa looked at Naya. Ready, Naya nodded. Let us speak to the sky. They powered the antenna. Lisa typed commands into the old console, her fingers moving fast. Nia sang beside her, a low, steady hum that matched the frequency of the satellites. The Vera believed sound-shaped reality. Lisa believed in code. Together they sent a message into the dark. Awake. Help us. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then one by one, the satellites blinked to life. Lights flickered on the screen. Data poured in, heat maps, pressure lines, fault zones. The core was swelling, unstable, ready to burst. But there was a weak point, a channel deep below the western ridge. If they could send a pulse of energy there, they might ease the pressure. How do we send energy? Lisa asked. Aya looked at her. The pool, the truth pool in the cave. It held pure energy, the same kind that powered Vera life. But using it could drain the cave. Maybe kill it. Kayla understood at once. She placed a hand on Lisa's shoulder. Do it. The planet is more than stone. It is our mother. If we lose her, we lose everything. Lisa and Nia ran back to the cave. The pool glowed faintly, as if it knew what was coming. Lisa connected wires from the antenna to the water's edge. Nia knelt and placed her hands in the pool. Sing with me, Father. Lisa did not know the songs, but she knew love. She thought of Nia as a child in the rain, of Kayla's trust, of the first time she felt she belonged. She put her hands in the water too, and she spoke, not with words but with feeling. Calm, heal, live. The pool flared bright. Light shot through the wires up the antenna into the sky. The satellites focused the beam and sent it down, deep into the planet's heart. The ground shook one last time, then stilled. The red glow faded. The twin moons shone clear again. The jungle sighed, as if breathing after holding its breath too long. Silence. Then cheers rose from the tribe. They ran to the ledge, laughing, crying, touching the cool air. The planet was safe. Lisa sank to her knees, exhausted. Nia hugged her tight. "You did it, Father. We did it," Lisa whispered. In the days that followed, the Vera honored them, not with titles or gifts, but with trust. The elders asked Lisa to join their council. Nia was named a bridgekeeper, one who walks between worlds. But the greatest change came quietly. One evening, as Lisa sat by the pool, Kayla joined her. "You gave us more than a home," Kayla said. "You gave us hope that we are not alone in the universe." Lisa smiled. "And you gave me a daughter." They sat in silence, watching the water ripple with starlight. Weeks later, something unexpected happened. A new signal came through the satellites, not from Earth, but from deep space. A faint repeating pulse. Not human. Not Vera. Something else. Nia heard it first. She ran to Lisa, eyes wide. "Father, someone is calling." Lisa listened. The signal was weak but clear. A question, not a threat. "Are you there?" She looked at Nia. "What have we done?" Nia grinned. "We answer." And so they did. Using the same mix of code and song, they sent a reply. "We are here. We are Tarek and Nia of Zeta Prime. Come in peace." They did not know who would hear it. Maybe no one. Maybe someone like them, lost, searching, hoping to belong. But that night, as the twin moons rose and the jungle hummed its lullaby, Lisa knew one thing for certain. She was no longer just a repair tech from Earth. She was father, protector, teacher, and now perhaps a voice for others who needed a home. Aya leaned against her. "Do you think they will come, maybe?" Lisa said. "And if they do, we will be ready." Above them, the stars blinked like eyes waking up. The universe was vast, but it no longer felt cold, because here on a small planet under twin moons, love had built a light bright enough to be seen across the dark, and that light would keep growing. The signal came again 3 nights later. Stronger this time. Clearer. It was not just a question anymore. It was a name, Zeta Prime. "We hear you." Lisa and Nia stood at the antenna, wrapped in warm vine cloaks. The air was still. The jungle held its breath. Nia's hands trembled slightly, but her voice was steady. "They answered us." Lisa nodded. "Now we wait." But they did not have to wait long. Within a week, a ship appeared on the edge of the sky. Not human, not Vera. It was sleek and silver, shaped like a falling leaf. It moved without sound, without fire. It simply was. The Vera gathered on the high ledge, silent and watchful. Kayla stood beside Lisa, her posture calm but alert. Nia stayed close to Lisa's side, her eyes fixed on the sky. The ship lowered slowly, landing in the wide meadow beyond the trees. No doors opened. No lights flashed. But then a figure stepped out. It was tall like the Vera, but its skin was pale gold. Its eyes were black and deep like night pools. It wore no armor, carried no weapon. It walked alone toward the tree line. Lisa took a step forward. Nia grabbed her hand. "Be careful, Father." "I will." The stranger stopped at the edge of the clearing. It raised both hands, palms open. A sign of peace, Lisa guessed. The being spoke not in words, but in a soft hum that echoed in their minds. "We are the Kale. We heard your song. We come in need." Kayla stepped forward. "Why do you seek us?" The Kale looked at the group, then at Lisa. "Our world is dying. Our children forget how to dream. We heard a voice that mixed machine and heart. We followed it here." Lisa felt a pull in her chest. She knew that pain, the silence, the loss, the fear of being forgotten. "What do you want from us?" "Teach us," the Kyle said. "Show us how to heal," the Vera murmured. No outsider had ever asked to learn from them. They guarded their ways closely. But Lisa remembered Earth, how humans took without asking, how she had almost done the same. "You cannot take," Lisa said. "You must give first." The Kale bowed its head. "What would you have us give your story?" Nia said suddenly. All eyes turned to her. She stepped forward, small but sure. "If you want to learn how to live, you must first tell us how you are dying." The Kale was silent for a long moment. Then it sat on the grass and began to speak. Its voice painted pictures in their minds. Cities of glass that sang once but now stood silent. Children who stared at walls instead of stars. Elders who forgot the old songs. Their machines worked perfectly, but their hearts had grown cold. They had lost the balance between making and feeling. Lisa listened. It sounded like Earth, like the world she had left behind. When the Kyle finished, Kyla turned to Lisa. "What do you think?" Lisa looked at Nia, then at the stranger. "We can help, but not by giving answers, by walking with them. So it was decided. The Kale would stay for one moon cycle. They would live among the Vera, eat their food, sleep in their caves, learn by doing. The Kale's name was Oren. It was quiet at first, watching everything. It watched Lisa fix a broken lightstone with wire and song. It watched Naya teach young Vera how to weave solar threads into cloth. It watched the elders share stories not with words but with light patterns in the pool. On the 5th day, Oren asked Lisa a question. How did you learn to be both human and Vera? Lisa smiled. I did not learn to be both. I learned to be myself, and that was enough. Oren seemed puzzled. But your kind builds without feeling. Ours feels without building. How do you stand in the middle? Be listening, Lisa said. Not just with ears. With hands. With heart. The next morning, Oren joined Nia in the workshop. It watched her shape a new tool from scrap metal and living vine. Then it reached out a hand. May I try? Nia nodded. Here. Feel the metal. It remembers what it was made for. Oren touched the metal, closed its eyes, and for the first time it smiled. Days passed. Oren learned to sing with the wind, to read the mood of the trees, to let silence speak, and in return, it showed Lisa how the Kale stored memories in light crystals, how a single shard could hold a lifetime of joy or sorrow. Lisa used that knowledge to help the Vera preserve their oldest songs, which were fading from memory. Nia helped Oren build a small device that turned song into light, so Kale children could see their history instead of just hearing it. Balance, Lisa realized. Not one way or the other, but both. On the last night, the tribe held a gathering under the twin moons. Oren stood before them holding a crystal that glowed with soft blue light. This is my promise, it said. We will not forget. We will build with heart. We will feel with purpose. And we will tell others of Zeta Prime, of the human who became father and the child who taught us to fly. Kayla placed a hand on Oren's shoulder. Go in peace, and return when you are ready. The next morning, the silver ship rose into the sky, but this time it did not leave empty. It carried seeds from the glowing trees, recordings of Vera songs, and a small glider made by Nia's hands. After it vanished, Lisa stood with Nia on the ledge. Do you think they will come back, Yes? Nia said, and others will come too, because we showed them that home is not a place. It is a choice. Lisa looked at her daughter. No longer a child but not yet grown, wise beyond years, kind beyond fear. She thought of the lonely girl she had been, fixing broken things because people were too hard to fix. Now she had fixed something greater, not a machine, not a world, but a way of living. That night, as they sat by the pool, Naya asked, What is next? Father Lisa watched the stars. I do not know, but we will face it together. And in the quiet hum of the cave under the watchful eyes of the twin moons, the future waited, not with fear, but with open hands, ready to be shaped by love, by courage, and by the simple truth that no one is ever too broken to belong. Months passed. The rains came and went. The glowing trees bloomed twice more. Nia was nearly full-grown now, her voice steady, her steps sure. She no longer called Lisa father in front of others, out of respect for Vera ways, but in quiet moments, when it was just the two of them, the word still came, soft and warm like a blanket. Life settled into a rhythm. Lisa taught the young ones how to repair old tech. Nia led song walks through the jungle, teaching them to hear the planet's breath. Kayla ruled with calm strength, but often sought Lisa's thoughts on matters of change. The tribe was no longer just Vera. It was something new, something blended, stronger for its differences. Then, one morning, the satellites beeped again. Not a call. Not a warning. A gift. A small pod had detached from a passing trade route, left behind on purpose. It landed gently in the meadow, wrapped in silver foil that shimmered like starlight. No markings. No weapons, just a note carved into a smooth stone. For Zeta Prime. From those who remember kindness. Inside the pod were seeds, strange, hard-shelled, glowing faintly green. And a data chip. Lisa plugged it into her old console. Images filled the screen. Planets, faces, voices. It was a message from many worlds. The Kale had told their story. Others had listened. Humans from distant colonies. Water dwellers from ocean moons. Desert nomads who rode sand ships. All of them sent something, a song, a tool, a memory. They were saying thank you. Nia touched the screen. They are not coming to take. They are giving. Yes, Lisa said, because we showed them that sharing is not weakness. The tribe planted the seeds near the cave. Within days, new plants grew, some with blue leaves, some with singing flowers, one that bloomed only when touched by two different kinds of hands. The Vera called it the Unity Vine, but peace, as always, was fragile. One evening, a different ship appeared. Dark, sharp-edged. No signal, no warning. It dropped from the sky like a stone and landed hard in the western field. Smoke rose from its hull. Lisa's heart sank. This was not a friend. Armed figures stepped out. Humans, but not like her. They wore black armor, faces hidden behind masks. They carried weapons that hummed with power. They moved fast, scanning the jungle with cold eyes. Scavengers. Raiders. The kind that hunted lost outposts for tech, for slaves, for sport. They had found Zeta Prime. Lisa ran to the cave. Nia was already there, gathering the young ones. Kayla stood at the entrance, her body tense. "They will take everything," she said. "Not if we stop them," Lisa replied. "But how we do not fight." "We do not have to fight with weapons," Lisa said. "We fight with what we have." She turned to Nia. "Can you wake the satellites again?" "Good." "And the truth pullet will answer." Lisa had a plan. Not a war plan. A human plan. One built on tricks, signals, and hope. The raiders moved toward the caves. They expected silence, fear, easy prey. Instead, the jungle came alive. Lights flashed from the trees, old human strobes wired to Vera crystals. Sounds echoed from every direction. Recordings of growls, roars, even human voices shouting orders. The ground shook as Lisa triggered small charges buried near old geysers, sending steam and noise into the air. The raiders froze, confused, scared. Then the satellites above focused beams of light, not to burn, but to blind. Bright pulses that made their visors flicker and fail. In the chaos, Nia and the young Vera moved like shadows, cutting power lines, tripping wires, leading the raiders in circles. Lisa stood at the edge of the clearing holding an old speaker. She played a recording. Kayla's voice, deep and powerful, speaking in the old tongue. "This place is protected. Leave or be lost forever." The raiders hesitated. One shouted, "It is just tricks." But another pointed to the sky. The twin moons seemed to glow brighter. The clouds swirled in strange patterns. The very air felt heavy with warning. They did not know it was Lisa's doing, using satellite mirrors and sound waves to shape the sky. But they believed it was magic. And fear is stronger than greed. They ran back to their ship. Engines roared. It lifted off, damaged and smoking, vanishing into the stars. Silence returned. The tribe gathered, breathing hard. No one was hurt. Nothing was taken. Kayla looked at Lisa. "You saved us without blood." Lisa shook her head. "We saved us." Together. That night they held a fireless gathering, the Vera way of honoring courage. Each one placed a lightstone at Lisa's feet. Nia placed hers last. It glowed warm red. "You are not just Tarek," she said. "You are Shield." Lisa held the stone close. She had spent her life fixing broken things. Now she had protected something whole. In the days that followed, they strengthened their defenses, not with walls or guns, but with knowledge. They taught the children how to hide signals, how to mimic sounds, how to make the jungle itself a guardian. Lisa built early warning sensors from scrap. Nia wove them into living vines so they grew and healed on their own. The tribe was no longer just peaceful, it was wise. One evening, as Lisa sat by the Unity Vine, Kayla joined her. "You have given us more than safety," she said. "You have given us voice. Others hear us now. Not as weak, but as strong in a new way." Lisa smiled. Maybe that is what humanity was meant to be. Not conquerors, but connectors. Kayla nodded. "And you, Lisa, are the first true bridge." I came running then, holding a new signal printout. "Father." Another message. Lisa took it. This one was from Earth, not the government, not the military, a school. Children. They had heard the story of Zeta Prime from old logs, from whispers in the net. They wanted to know more. They asked one question. Can kindness really change the stars? Lisa looked at Nia, then at Kayla, then at the vine that bloomed only when two different hands touched it. "Yes," she said, "it already has." And under the twin moons, with the jungle humming its ancient song, the answer traveled back, not in code, not in sound, but in a single image sent from the satellites. A human hand and a Vera hand holding a glowing seed, planting it in the soil of a world that chose love over fear. The stars watched, and for the first time in a long time they seemed to smile.